Hey guys, this is Brandon at The Edge Pro, and today just want to give you sharpeners a little tip that I like to use every day on some clippers that are a little bit difficult, or on blades that are a little bit difficult. So with trimmers, just like Arco blades that we've talked about in the past, they're technically considered not sharpenable from the factories. So some of the things we do are a little bit non-traditional in our sharpening process to be able to sharpen them and restore them back to a factory new setting. So what I'm going to talk about on this one is I've got some trimmers that need to be sharpened, and one of the things that's really important about sharpening a trimmer is you need to have fresh grit, good consistent grit across your wheel. So I like to go ahead and redress my wheel before I do trimmer blades. Problem is, it's a double-edged sword because a trimmer blade doesn't have a lot of metal for us to work with. And so one of the things I like to do before I go sharpen a blade is we'll redress the wheel, but then I'm going to have another blade that I use to kind of knock down that really fresh grit, and then we're going to come in and sharpen that trimmer blade like we've kind of shown in some videos. In this video, I've got a customer's order that's just the perfect combo. He's got a master blade and he's got a trimmer blade. And the master blade can handle the fresh grit just fine, and overall a trimmer blade can, but it's a little bit more forgiving through that. So I'm just going to go ahead and walk through sharpening this customer's order. We're going to go ahead and video it, and we'll talk through it a little bit, and you guys can see me working, so there's actual evidence out there that I do work when I'm here and I don't just do videos here on YouTube. So come on over to the sharpening machine, we'll get it fired up and we'll get right to work. All right, so we got our wheel. I went ahead and dressed the wheel, so we're ready to sharpen. We've got fresh grit on here. And like I said, this customer has a master blade and a trimmer blade. Master blade's going to be used just to go ahead and knock that fresh grit off, but we're still going to have a nice consistent surface, and then we'll be ready to go with our trimmer blade. So I'm not going to do too much talking here while we're sharpening, but you guys can walk through some of the steps that we're doing. This first pass when I come over here still has fresh grit on it, so it's going to be a little bit dustier than what we're usually do. We're going to sharpen it a few times to lap in a nice new surface. And we're checking here to see that I have lapped a full new surface all the way through my blade. Still had a little bit of damage there that I need to work through. Now we're good to go on that surface. I'm going to clean up a little bit of that grit that happens between the rails. We're going to sharpen the cutter here on this one. I personally just hold it with my hand when I sharpen this one. Again, we've talked about where our pressure needs to be in some of our other videos. So I'm countering that pressure forward with my index finger when I sharpen this blade. This blade is missing a few teeth. Customer elected not to have it replaced, so we're just going to do what they ask us to do. So now we've knocked down that really fresh grit that we had there, and we're ready to move into sharpening that trimmer blade. Again, like I said, we could use that fresh grit, but I like it. It's a little bit more forgiving if I knock down those really rough edges, but we still have a consistent surface where I haven't messed up anywhere here in my plate. We're good to go ahead and sharpen the trimmer blade. We do have another video that I talk about where we talk about different magnets for different blades. I'm utilizing some of that here as we sharpen this blade. We spend very, very little time on the plate when we're sharpening these. There's just not enough metal there for us to really go to town on this blade. This one specifically had some pretty bad wear on it. Looked like maintenance was probably not done very much. So we're done with the comb there. We're going to move over to the cutter. You can see my grit isn't quite as fresh. I'm starting to get some inconsistencies in when I was coming down to the plate. So I'm going to try to make sure that I'm ending this blade in places where I have good grit still. Almost there. We've got a little bit more that we need to grind away to have a new fresh surface. And that right there should do it. We're going to clean that up a little bit. Always make sure to come away from the wheel when we're doing that, when we're putting our blade on the magnet, when we're wiping it off. We just want to be safe. If it hits that wheel, it's going to go flying. In a mobile unit, that could go through a window and hit anybody outside or anything outside. And more so, you know, I've got a brick wall right here. If it were to hit that brick wall, it's going to shatter and go all over the place. And At best will ruin this nice camera, and at worst one of us could get hurt. We just want to keep safety in mind. Speaking of that, usually I would be wearing a respirator. It's going to be a little bit harder for you to hear me, so I'm not using that for these two blades for this video. And then always making sure you have eye protection. Those are all important things. You got to remember, we want you to stay around as a sharpener for a long time, and hopefully as a customer for a long time. So take care of yourself, take care of your lungs, take care of your eyes, make sure you're being safe. Those are the things that we do. So this customer is all taken care of. That was real time here at the Edge Pro, taking care of that. I hope that little trick helps as you're sharpening blades. You may find that you get a little bit better product out of your trimmers. It's going to be a little bit more forgiving for you as a sharpener when we're working with such a small amount of metal. I hope that's just a tool that you can put into your belt and put it to work right away. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. I did a lot of things without explaining some of the things I was doing. Be happy to help. Let us know what we can do to help you. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our page, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the future.